112 to 106, your final score from here at Madison Square Garden, where the New York Knicks came in after a road win, basically at home in Philadelphia, where their fans were loud and strong at the Wells Fargo Center, came home to Madison Square Garden with an opportunity to close out a playoff series at home for the first time since '99. They led by 6 with 28.7 seconds to go, and the fans in the building were cheering like things were all locked up, but an errant foul from Mitchell Robinson on a three-point make from Tyrese Maxey made a 6-point game go to a 2-point game in seconds, and Maxey had a 16-point fourth quarter. He had 7 points in 20 seconds for Philadelphia, and he finished with 46 points in 52 minutes on 7 of 12 shooting from downtown, 17 of 30 from the floor. Just an otherworldly performance from Tyrese Maxey, and the Philadelphia 76ers were able to survive what was a rough go of it from Joel Embiid. A triple-double for him, but almost a quadruple-double if you include his 9 turnovers, 16 rebounds, 10 assists, and just 19 points for the big man out of Yaoundé, Cameroon. The Knicks survived Jalen Brunson's rough goes of it, Game 1, Game 2, and now it was Philadelphia's turn. Tyrese Maxey, the lead singer of the backup choir for Joel Embiid that really carried Philadelphia through. The overtime period came, and the New York Knicks start out OT 5-0, up 102 to 97, and just like that, 9 unanswered points for Philadelphia make it 106 to 102, and all of a sudden the Garden wasn't so Eden. And after that, the New York Knicks faltered and came up short. They didn't foul up 3 late in regulation, and that's something that Tom Thibodeau said after the game was, they could have fouled, but they didn't, and he'll leave it at that. Well, the media here at the Garden didn't let him leave it at that. He was asked to follow up and said, it was a lack of communication. There are certain scenarios in which guys know they need to foul, guys know they shouldn't foul, but we could have fouled, and we didn't. Now, still multiple interpretations there, the first being Thibodeau instructed the Knicks to foul if the situation played out as it did, and they just didn't. The other option, they knew to foul and didn't have enough time to. Maxey comes down, barreling down the court, and takes quite the bodacious 35-foot three-point shot. Swish. Nothing but net for Tyrese, and that felt like the end of the Knicks' night. Now, even though that's what sent it to overtime, the momentum was all the way down the turnpike with the Philadelphia 76ers, and they'll have an opportunity now to go home and play Game 6, make it a 3-3 series if they can win at home. Now, Embiid said after Game 5 it was unacceptable how many Knicks fans were in the Wells Fargo Center. Sixers fans selling their seats to the New Yorkers willing to make the commute, but we'll see about Game 6. Philadelphia rappers are tweeting out about not selling seats, begging fans not to sell their seats and to show up and be loud and in the building for Game 6. And for New York, that's a game they never wanted to have to play in the first place. Of course, their superstar Jalen Brunson, with all of his usual boxes checked after the game, he took responsibility for the lack of communication, the lack of foul when up 3. He said the Knicks cannot hang their heads. He took responsibility for the loss with the turnover, reminiscent of his turnover against Miami, where the Knicks had a chance and just couldn't capitalize on it. Well, they had a chance tonight, again, up 6 with 29 seconds to go and up 5 with 3 minutes left in overtime. Neither of those situations were ones that the Knicks can say happened before a win and before a series was closed out at home. So the series continues on. Philadelphia fights their way to another home game, Game 6, coming from the Wells Fargo Center. It'll be played on Thursday, May 2nd, and New York will try to close out another playoff series on the road. That record will keep growing. That trend will keep growing, as they've not closed out a series at home since the late 90s, before I was born, and they certainly didn't do that tonight. So a solemn air in the Garden, fans heading for the exit, still with time left on the clock, and the Knicks certainly not expecting to be in this situation. We're on the receiving end of the kind of chaos that they thrived through in Game 2. The Knicks know from Game 2 that every millisecond matters, executing perfectly matters, preparation matters, and making the most of that preparation, turning it into execution, matters most. Well, tonight in Game 5, they drop the game to the Sixers, lose by 6 points, as they just weren't ready for the scenarios that came upon them in this one. So Sixers win. Knicks still up 3-2 in the series, have a chance to close it out again, but this time on the road in Philly. That game will be Thursday. Stay tuned to our coverage here at WFUV Sports, where we'll have you covered through every game of this Knicks playoff run. Thanks so much for tuning in, and see you next time.